What's happening, YouTube? By popular request, the mommy is in the building. Crystal has decided to get back and review a TV show and quit her day job. And
Mhm.
this video is for Hightown season 2, where the young lady has decided she's going to become the queen pin. Honey, how did you like the first episode of season 2?
I thought it was pretty good. A nice setup for I think what's going to be a good season.
Great setup. I agree with that. And in true life games Lamont Tyson form, I'm going to give you guys an opening video that sets the tone, sets the narrative for the overall episode. And here we go.
Someone sold some of your shit to 3 white kids up in Channel. They fucking OD'd. Now all the cops in the Cape are trying to find out where they got that dope.
Okay. So what you trying to do about it?
Me and my cousin want to be your partner.
I got a partner.
Yeah, she got a partner.
That was so funny. Yeah, she got a partner. And it's like her 10-year-old sister or something.
Right.
What that girl gonna do when them streets get hot? Shouts out to everybody that has tuned in. If you're finding us for the first time, please subscribe to the channel. Please give us a like. Follow me on Instagram if you ever want to join me live. This is a show that is really good. Some people don't notice it on Stars, but we did, and we like the writers, we like the actors, and we're going to get into it. So, honey, they start off in the very beginning with 3 white kids at a beach, at a bonfire, and they about to go jump in the ocean when the boy already done said, this is shark waters, even though we ain't seen them in 3 months.
Right.
So what did you think when she took this selfie before they went and jumped in the water?
Mm-hmm. Now, I thought they were going to get caught and eaten by sharks.
Shark, yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't know. They threw me off with that one. But, we'll see where it goes.
Uh-huh. It went somewhere, ladies and gentlemen. It wasn't that they got eaten by sharks. It wasn't nothing like that.
Technically, they did get the big shark.
They did get eaten by a great white, technically, but
Right.
not by a physical great white shark. But they did get eaten up. We get introduced to Jackie. I was about to call her by her real name. We get introduced to Jackie as she's standing up there talking in her Alcoholic Anonymous class, and she's just talking about the things she's going through and how she feels with Junior being dead, and giving a shout out to all the things she's going through. How'd you feel about them showing her in something that's weak in her life?
Well, it's shown that she's growing.
Mhm.
She's sobered up.
She sobered up.
And yeah, that's what it showed.
By the way, you look nice today. Your makeup looks nice. Your hair looks nice. Your earrings look nice.
Thank you.
The only thing I can pick on is your Freddy Krueger shirt, but even that looks nice on you too. Jackie wanted to get off from her Marine job early. And did you hear the joke that the dude said, you're going to be a goblin? And then he put his fingers up.
Goodness.
He was funny. But she wants to get off because she wants to go party. And her buddy Ed, who's like her father, her uncle, he's like, Jackie, why you need to get out of here for Halloween? But anyway, she still like to party, even though she's avoiding drugs. Yeah. And this is the party she's going to. But what we didn't know is that Jackie has been working part-time for the state patrol, and when she got these drugs from the dude that's dressed like a fat Richard Simmons, I was like, Jackie,
right,
you messing up your sobriety.
Mm-hmm.
Did she fool you, or you kind of thought there was something going on?
I took notes.
Oh, okay.
In my notes, I said, is she using or is she undercover?
Okay.
And so when she first went to the party, I was like, okay, well, what is she doing? The last place she need to be is around all this alcohol and drugs or whatever. And then she goes to buy. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe she's putting on a front to that she's sober, but she's not really sober, living a double life. And then I thought, well, she might be undercover.
And when she first walked in this party, the eye patch on her eye was glowing in the dark, and her teeth was glowing. I was like, where you get that kind of stuff from? I want something to put on my teeth so it glow in the dark. Yeah. So when I walk into a room, people see my glow in the dark teeth. But I knew this was a setup from jump. I knew goodness well, because she doesn't have a history of doing cocaine. I mean, she doesn't have a history of doing an 8-ball that I know of. So I knew this was a setup, and I didn't even think twice about it. Picking up from last season, Sergeant Allen is now moved up to a sergeant. He done had a baby, and now he's going to be the sergeant in the wake of what happened to Abruzzo Ray. Yeah. And for those of you that pick on us because we had kids late, this little couple looks old as hell. They about 50, about to have a baby. How'd you feel about the wife coming to celebrate him becoming the sergeant?
I mean, it just shows he's a family man, so it shows you a little bit more of a dimension to him. I don't know if we knew much of his backstory before.
We didn't.
Okay, so he's a family man. It is interesting that they showed this side of him, and why are they showing us this? I don't know. Are they trying to ingratiate us to him a little bit more, or like what's the purpose?
I think they're trying to build his character, but also whenever you get to meet the family, there's always the threat that the family in these type of shows can become collateral damage. New baby,
right?
Wife happy. He's stepped up his job, and you know when you work in the crime and law enforcement, the threat to your family is always going to be present.
Yeah, so I guess the other thing is it could be a motivation for him to clean up the streets a little bit more because he got this little baby. His wife is living around in the area, and so he might want to clean it up more.
I think he was already motivated. I think if anything that's motivating him is he wants to prove his stripes as a sergeant.
But nothing motivates you more than wanting to protect your family.
I can get with that. Shouts out to KB and Max, who's in here watching us as we do this review for Hightown. Appreciate the love. And then we get to old Ray having flashbacks and images of Renee and nightmares of Renee, both of them at the same time. You know, this woman must really put it on him. And right before he comes out that nightmare, boom, she pulls a gun on him, puts it right to his head. And then we later find out he's in therapy, breaking it down for the doctor. Talk about this whole scene, honey, because he's really got it bad.
Right.
He's got it bad.
I mean, the thing is, it tells you, like, who falls in love with the confidential informant? You would think that would be like police officer 101. If you're going to do dirt, don't fall in love with the person that you...
You know what young people say, honey? You can't help who you fall in love with. It's usually just because somebody put it on you good enough, then you in love with that. But apparently that's what happened with him because she put that thing on him. But I do think a part of her liked him too. A small part.
It seemed like she struggled a little bit about whether or not to cross him or not. And so this scene also makes me wonder, are their paths going to cross again later on?
100%. 100%. But I also think that we're going to see the psychiatric too, because she played a role last year. She was helping Jackie. Now she's back this year trying to help Ray. I do think something's going to happen in which she's going to be called to the witness stand, or she might be put in the crosshairs of something crazy happening. Keep an eye on it, people. And this is when we find out that Jackie is actually working with the State Patrol Department 1 day a week. She's a woman hire because they only got one woman in there. The other woman is Leslie. But she wants to take on a bigger role, and Sergeant Allen ain't having it. He ain't having none of it because he just got this job. She looks on his table and see that Frankie's cousin, Jose Cuervo, done got out of jail, and she's been digging up information on her guy that she got them drugs from. But he's telling her, I don't want to hear it. Get the hell out of my office. What'd you think about this?
I didn't really take anything from this. We know Jackie wants some action. She was trying to get in good with them on last season,
right?
So,
but she had vested interest last season because she wanted to know what was going on with Junior, what was the drug scene behind that, because she knew he was involved in something. But she basically told him, he said to her, are you only in this thing because you worried about revenge for Junior? She said, no, I'm in it for a case. But you know that was a lie.
Right.
And then
she even got the man tattoo name
on her chest. Like, bruh, come on now. Then she walks out of his office and goes over here and meets Leslie, who ingratiates herself to Jackie. Now, honey, you should already know me.
I know what you're about to say.
What am I about to say?
If anybody tell you they can trust you, you can't trust them.
Absolutely not. You don't trust them no further than you can smell them, because your line of smell is way shorter than your line of sight. You don't trust them no. And she's basically she ingratiated Jackie with this whole girl power thing.
Just run your stuff by me.
Yeah.
Just run it by me, and I slide it up the chain for you.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, clearly, she's going to take Jackie's information and either use it for her own personal gain, or she's corrupted.
Now, do you think she'd be willing to go the distance and manipulate Jackie by trying to sleep with her at some point later on?
Of course she would. Why not? Why not?
Okay.
I mean, you want something bad enough, you're going to get it. Okay. I can easily see that. And Jackie, old dummy, is just, as this episode progresses, she's just eating it up with a silver spoon.
Now, what do you think? She would be smarter than that?
You would think she would be after what happened last season.
because she's such a pessimist and she looks at the dark side of things. So I'm surprised she was eating that up so easy.
Because this is the only woman in the force.
Yeah.
So you just kind of feel like, okay. And then when you in a, this is a new situation for her, a new environment. When you're in a new situation, in a new environment, usually the only people that reach out to you are the ones who need help. Like when you go to a barbershop for the first time and you got the dude who ain't never cutting hair and he the first one to come over there and say, hey, let me cut your hair. No, you better stay away from him. Mm-hmm. This is the same situation right here. Right. This chick just wants some help and she's going to use Jackie. Mm-hmm. That's what's going to happen. Jackie, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe, right. Sweetie. Don't fall for it. Then we get our first look at Poacito. I felt bad for Poacito. He coming up there to get his suit. Everybody else getting green suits, meaning they're going to be in the easy drug side. Mm-hmm. They give him this burgundy suit because he's a cop shooter. Mm-hmm. Talk about that. And this cop at the window was giving him the business. Talk about it, honey.
I mean, I felt sorry for him too. I mean, granted, he is a criminal, whatever, he's a criminal. But for some reason, I like Poacito.
I like Poacito so far this year.
He seems like he's a wise soul.
I like him this year. So far this year.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, he definitely got pegged, and hopefully he survived.
Yeah, I don't know how he's going to survive because you got the police not caring what happened to you, so you might get beat up by them or killed. And if they don't care about what happened to you, anybody that want to put a hit on your life can be able to basically get away with it because now they're killing two birds with one stone.
We're going to see that unfold later.
We're going to see it.
Yeah.
So now we get to see Quavo, the cousin, and Frankie. They all roll up in Club Xavier where Renee used to work. And we learned that the cousin does not like Renee. He thinks Renee is nothing but a whore. A whore that Frankie is trying to take under his wing. And he basically goes and tells her, thank you for sucking that cock's penis to help us get out of jail and get it on tape. Mm-hmm. That's what he told her. Mm-hmm. And I'm laughing at this relationship that they got. And him and Frankie going to wind up splitting up. You can already see it because when Frankie took him in the boom boom room, Frankie trying to talk business. Jorge, he just like, man, we can talk business tomorrow, man. Sounding like Mike Tyson.
Well, he just got out of jail. What you expect?
Hey, look, but Frankie just got out of jail too.
Frankie was out, was it 2 months? He's been out for 2 months.
2 months. Yeah. But basically, you're just fresh out of jail. But he ain't as fresh.
So maybe Frankie's first night out, he probably went, but wow, maybe he's a kind of like a family man though too. Jorge, he ain't got no family. Nope. He's just ready to party. He'll talk about business later.
And then did you see how he kicked out the chick that he thought had fake boobs? I didn't think her boobs looked fake. Did you?
Not really. No. I wasn't looking all that close.
So apparently he just like Asian women. That's his predilection.
Or he want them small.
Right. Or he want them small. I think that's what his deal is. And after we get past them having the discussion in the club about Frankie's organization and them needing to build that organization, we get to Ray, who's now a bartender.
Right.
He met with Jackie to just kind of talk about what's going on. And then you get this blonde soccer mom who's middle-aged, little heavy, definitely not Ray type. Definitely. But she's like, give me the Chardonnay. And then she said, I heard you was a cop.
She looked like, what's her name, mama? What's his girl? What's the one he hurting over?
Renee. Like that could be Renee mama. Yeah. Renee at her current age. Like not Renee. Yo, this looks like it could be Renee's mom who done retired from the strip club. And basically he just gave her the cold shoulder. Say, keep dreaming. You don't need to do nothing with no cop. But ladies and gentlemen, I knew this was a farce. I knew that if the only reason Ray is behaving is because he's trying to get his job back. And I knew that if one more chaotic thing happens in his life, he was going to falter. I knew it, but we'll get to that in a minute.
I knew she was sitting waiting to strike whenever he got into a bad mood or whatever. So she just hanging out waiting.
Yeah, she's one of them. She's one of them desperate housewives who probably done divorce, got a settlement, ain't got nothing else to do. She's just hanging out at the club.
To crawl in there all defeated, and then she just go scoop down and it take over.
Ain't no different from what happens with men when women put them in the friend zone with your friend. And then we just wait for y'all to go through some emotional roller coaster so we can swoop in, get them dirty draws. That's all it was. Then we get Frankie back at the home with Renee. And this is when he drops the heavyweight on Renee. He says, Renee, you're going to be the assistant manager in the club. Now, poor Renee thinking we get married, I ain't got to work no more.
Right.
That was she thinks she about to be a housewife. That's what she thought.
You see how she acted when she walked back up in the strip club.
Right.
They were saying, oh, she thinks she all high now. And,
yep. Yeah. And then Frankie just basically tells her, I want you to be not even manager, assistant manager. And guess who the manager is going to be? Mm-hmm. His cousin she beefing with,
right?
Jorge.
Right.
Honey, how is this going to work? And they're going to be doing drug business in there.
It's not going to work.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Ladies and gentlemen, you ever want to hear a ball of you know what? That's what this is about to be.
And you know what? The setup reminded me of, was it Power? Yeah, Power when the cousin moved in. When the guy got out of jail, moved in with was that Power?
What? Who had a cousin that moved in?
Darn it. It'll come to me.
It'll
come to me.
You just sit on that one. You sit on that one while we keep this thing
Remember
going.
the trans woman.
That's Shy.
Okay, the Shy. Shy. It reminded me of Shy.
Yeah,
like
when Jason Weaver moved in, right?
It, sorry.
You got to discuss those things with whoever you're living with. You can't just up and say somebody about to be up in the house and you about to be doing business with this person without discussing it with them,
right?
Because they might not want to be involved. They don't want to be involved. How much will they be involved if you force them to be involved?
And he already don't have any respect for her whatsoever.
None.
And I'm thinking like, dude, how you not gonna have at least a little bit? How you gonna have that much disdain for someone who helped?
She is the reason you and Frankie out of jail.
Both of y'all.
But he did say thank you for sucking penis. Mm-hmm. That's not respect.
No, not
enough.
Said
what kind of respect you want him to show?
It.
You want him to go buy her some flowers to say you got me out of jail.
And that's a start.
Okay,
that's a start.
All right. Then we see Ray. He's about to go into some kind of a meeting so he can get his job back. And this is not his attorney. This is the union person that is supposed to go in with him. And when we get into this meeting, we got your boy from Army Wives, who's like the head of the state police. But when I saw this woman, honey, I said there's only one reason they got this woman in there. She's going to be the pit bull in the skirt.
Right.
She is going to be the shakedown, man, because homeboy right here, the cop, he was all ready for white privilege.
Trying to brush it off.
He white privilege all day right there. He was brushing it off. He was fine.
Locker room talk.
Just locker room talk. And before Ray allowed Jackie to talk as a character witness, and Jackie basically said, I'm a woman and I'm speaking on his behalf.
I mean, no. In my mind, I was rolling my eyes thinking, Jackie, sit down.
Because
somebody character witness.
Right. With all the flaws she's got, she's somebody, but they don't know that. Right. All they know is she works for the Marine Fishery Service and she's a cop, so that looks good on the book. On paper, she looks good.
She need a character witness.
Right. And so this lady right here is like, you ain't getting off that easy. I got my own character witness. Mm-hmm. And she calls in old boy that Ray screwed last season that works in the car department for the police. And
I don't remember him.
Yeah, it was like the last episode.
Okay.
Ray screwed him because he works in the stolen cars department of the police. Mm-hmm. And what Ray screwed him over was 13 years ago, Ray tried to holler at his wife and sent his wife dick pics. Bruh, Ray, come on, man. Come on. And I do believe had this woman known that Jackie was a lesbian, she would have disavowed it anyway. But she didn't care what Jackie had to say because she did whatever Jackie had to say. She was like, "Bro,
she already knew what was coming through the door."
I knew what was coming.
So
right.
They just wasted Jackie's time.
Right. You just wasted Jackie. And did you see how the union dude, when they told him no, union dude was out there, didn't wait to talk to Ray and then just walked right the hell out the door?
I mean, well, what can you say to that?
You got to console his feelings.
Oh no.
You don't just come in, swoop in, all suited and booted, and talking nice in the beginning. Then when it's time for me to go, you just bye.
Because they just open up a can of worms. He probably looking like, it ain't even no point. What's the point? Wow. And Jackie even said, "Did you really do that?"
I saw that. Jackie couldn't believe it, man. Like, yeah, he did it. He did
She's
it.
Like, oh man, I'm sorry about what happened. Did you do that?
Oh, Ray. And then we get to where the new drug on the scene, the Great White, has killed these 3 Anglo-Saxon children that went to swim in the water. You knew that was coming. Here's a picture of it. They got it on tape. They got the Great White. It's killing people. And in the middle of this, apparently, somebody on the police force had ingested some because he fell out because they was asking him to bring Narcan in. Huh?
He probably like touched it or
touched his lip or something.
Yeah, it was like a contact where he got.
But then after this, the
that
parent
so potent. Them girls know what they doing.
Man, them girls mixing it up.
Or they pulling
they might have to be the connect for Tariq.
They pulling a Canaan.
Yeah,
it's screwing up.
I
That's
mean,
what
my
they
goodness.
doing.
And then after this, of course, mom, we'll just call her Karen for the sake of it, goes outside, gives an impassioned speech about, I thought you guys were cleaning up drugs. I thought my kids were safe, but now you're letting out drug dealers. What did you think about her speech?
I mean, it is what it is. Yeah.
Black folks been saying that for years in the hood. Ain't nothing happened. And don't make it right, because it ain't right in this situation, but it ain't been right all them years it's been happening in everybody else's neighborhood either.
Well, they about to try to fix it.
Okay, we'll see. Jackie gonna try to fix it, because in the next clip, this is the guy who is the head of this department who got on the sergeant about, bruh, the sergeant asked him, do you think it's Jorge and his crew? He was like, that's something you need to find out. Mm-hmm. And so Jackie, who's itching and scratching to get in the game, goes in there, gives him a sweet setup for how she should be put in the game. Basically, I'm a woman, you need a woman, and I got this. I'm gonna make you look good. I'm gonna fix two issues at the same time. How'd you like Jackie's play?
I mean, that's what she was supposed to do. She want to get on the force or whatever it is she's trying to do. That's her end.
Now, at some point in time, her and Leslie gonna cross paths, right? Leslie, the chick that worked there, that was like, you can trust me. I'm gonna help you.
Oh yeah, of course. Oh, and she even pitched riding along with Leslie.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that. And let me shout out my lone super chatter for this show. Where we go? Will Lawrence, man, bruh. On days when I feel like not being a YouTuber, you be coming through with these nice super chats. I appreciate it, my homie. I don't even think you watched this show, but you just came to show us some love. So I appreciate it. Everybody that's watching, please give us a like. We're grateful. Then after that, we've got Acito. The sergeant goes and offers Acito a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit from Bojangles, thinking he gonna talk.
Yeah. What was that? I saw him like that. He was living at that restaurant.
Yeah. He used to stay there, and he used to get the extra fries all the time. And the sergeant, Acito's like, bruh, I'm not giving you no information. What you gonna offer? The ball is in my court, basically. Right. I'm over here. I'm a police killer. You know I'm doing at least 10 years, and you ain't offering me nothing. And so sergeant breaks down and say, what you want? What you want? And he threw his sandwich back. He's like, man, I'm in here messing with Nation of Islam. Anybody eat that pork?
Right. And that's why I like Acito, because he's smart. He's smart. He's very calculated, and he ain't gonna be tempted by no sausage sandwich. No matter how big
sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. Number 3 from Bojangles.
That wasn't Bojangles. That was
Kelly's.
Reimers or something.
Kelly is a knockoff Bojangles in the car.
He held it together. He knew. So I still like Acito.
Acito, all right.
He dirty, but I like him.
He all right. He gonna find a way to get out of this prison unscathed.
He's a deep thinker.
What? Okay.
He is.
All right.
He impressed me last season.
Okay, they say Kyrie Irving's a deep thinker too. He thinks so deep the earth is flat, and we know it's not. Then we get Renee trying on wedding dresses. Old Jorge coming here giving her a hard time and basically saying, why you sweating me? Are you on your period? Talk about Jorge coming in there taking pictures. Why are you taking pictures anyway?
Right.
For what?
I have no idea. When I saw him, I'm just like, okay, he's gonna be pure comedy. Comedy. And this whole season.
First of all, he sounds like Mike Tyson every time he talks.
He gonna wreak havoc on her. This is just gonna be pure comedy.
Yeah.
And every time he walk into the scene, I get ready to laugh.
Yeah.
He said, "You gonna wear white?" Like, okay, are you gonna wear white? Yeah. And so I'm looking forward to him this season.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna be a mess.
But he did point out that are you on your period? And then she stopped and thought, "Wait a minute,
right? What's going on?
How come I'm not on my period?"
She rubbed her belly.
Yeah.
So sometimes assholes people can have some modicum of truth that you probably need to just think about. That's how that's how they work.
Now, do you think he would try her?
No.
If he don't have no respect for her whatsoever, you don't think he would try her?
No, because of Frankie. No, he's scared of. I don't think he's scared of Frankie, but he respect Frankie enough.
Respect Frankie, but I don't respect your girl.
Right.
Yeah. And I do want to bring up that she had an issue with what's that girl Daisy coming to the house. Remember she said, I don't want Daisy in the house.
Right.
And he gonna jump his butt in the front seat
when
she was trying to get in the car. Yeah, so
Daisy
it's gonna be a problem.
Well, I mean, if you a former stripper and now you're trying to reform your life, you try to be high and mighty.
She know how Daisy is. Daisy probably gonna be running her mouth about what's going on up in there. 100%. She might be stealing stuff from the house.
100%.
She gonna make herself his woman, and she gonna be living up in there with him. I wouldn't put it past.
And there ain't no timeline on when Jorge got to leave.
Not at all.
And then we see Jackie talking to Ed, her father figure, her uncle figure. He's basically letting her know, like, Ed, I'm gonna be doing more time with the police force, and he's all nervous, like he's treating her like a little sister or daughter, because he's worried she's gonna get locked up again.
Always talking about his wife and how she'd be happy if she came by.
Right.
So I like their relationship. I just hope that she's able to manipulate him.
Yeah.
And so I just hope that she don't get him into too much trouble.
Hopefully
or cause him too much pain.
Right. One of the other ones gonna happen.
Right.
Probably. She caused him pain last year to the point where I thought he was gonna cut her loose, but he hung in there. He's a good dude. And this is the scene when Osito was in the line, needed to use the phone to call his lawyer. You could see this one coming. They telegraphed this one. All of a sudden, everybody using the phone. The cop all of a sudden just walk away. The camera slowly pans.
They try to distract you with the cop.
Yeah.
So you paying attention to the cop.
And then all of a sudden, chop, chop, chop.
That Frankie guy.
Dude had a shank in here trying to get him for Frankie.
Right.
But Osito held his own. Osito knocked him down.
Bad leg and all, stanky leg and all. Took his walker and was basically about to choke the dude out. And dude had an advantage on him. And then you see they got him posted up against him. He got his hand good. He's in for a fight. Right.
Till the police can get him out of it. Would see Sergeant Allen is not dirty enough to have people beating up Osito to get him to just talk to him, to put more pressure on him. See, if this was Ray would just say, beat up Osito every day till he finally comes to me and takes my deal. But Sergeant Allen's going to have some good in him. But I'm telling you, honey, at some point in time, Sergeant Allen is going to wind up going corrupt too, because trying to do things the right way usually don't work in America. What we got next? Oh, then they start going through the tail end of this story. So Ray ain't get his job back. Now he's spiraling back out of control. He done took the soccer mom in the bathroom, knowing he don't normally screw these type of women, and he's screwing. You saw this coming, right? You did. Like we all saw this coming. Next clip they go through.
You have to beat her away from that bar with a bat.
I'm glad you mentioned that. She could become a problem because let's just say he don't want to do this with her no more, or let's just say he just used her for sex.
Yeah.
Do you think
look like she don't mind?
No, but my problem is, what if she falls in love? What if she catch feelings? He ain't gonna just be able to kick her away. Then
I think she know what it is.
Okay.
You know what it is. So she's gonna be perched, a bird perched on that stoop.
We all say you know what it is, but do everybody behave when you know what it is? Right. No, not really. No. Some do, but most of the time not. So we'll see. Then we get Renee in the car because she checked her period thing and realized she's on day 37. Is she pregnant, honey?
Apparently.
But who's the right? That way. You beat me to the. I was gonna say that. Who's the daddy?
Right.
Who's the daddy? We got baby daddy problems. If that baby come out blonde hair, blue eyed, Frankie gonna go nuts. It's gonna be a problem.
Now you think she's gonna try to hide it?
How can she hide it?
She might go sneak off and get an abortion or something.
The writers ain't gonna let that happen.
I don't know.
If you was to do that, well, if they do allow her to sneak off and get an abortion, she's going to have to sneak off and do it with Ray. And that could be a way for Ray to get back into her life. And then that's going to take Ray spiraling down the hill again. That's all it's going to do. That's
you
all.
You saying she ain't got no other friends but Ray?
No. Who else her friend? She don't like the strippers at the club. Jorge
she definitely ain't going to let them know.
And she can't tell Frankie. Only person you can call is Ray. So the writers know what they're doing.
Right.
Good job, Jerry Bruckheimer. Good job. And then we get to the very basically last scene, almost, where Jorge goes up to the home girl because it was her uncle that was running the business for him. He's locked up right now. She still got the business running, but he had to drop knowledge on her. Girl, you know your stuff out here killing people.
Right. What's your name? Kanisha? Little Kanisha, what you doing?
And he went and dropped some game on her, like, look, you know, you need some help. You ain't got no soldiers. She claims she got soldiers. You ain't got no partner.
So he want to clean up her stuff so it's not as potent, or what he doing? Because why are you trying to sell off the stuff that
because they need a distributor. They don't have a distributor right now, which is just, it's weird. How did they not have a distributor when Frankie's supposed to be the big boss? Mm-hmm. They portrayed him last season like he was the big bad boss.
But they locked his distributor up or whatever.
Okay,
that's what the new sergeant or whatever.
Alan.
Yeah, he said Frankie is screwed because they
distributor locked. Okay, that's right.
Cito is in jail.
So that's why he coming to her. So maybe what he's gonna do is take her super strong, potent stuff and step on it like 1,100 times so it's not as strong, and then they can sell it. What choice do they have? Because obviously she's kind of green. She don't know what she's doing. Because the one thing you don't want to do is kill people. And we've learned from all the drug shows we've watched, the last thing you want to do is kill white people. That's the last people you want to kill. So now you done killed 3 white people in an upscale community where everybody make at least 100,000 or more, and the police is hot and heavy on the trail. They need a body. So she's not going to have any choice but to team up with them, fortify her organization. But there's going to be a problem here. Frankie and Jorge going to be trying to tell her what to do, and you can tell she's strong-headed as hell. She ain't going to try to hear it. Right. Somebody going to get double-crossed. Either they're going to figure out where she's getting her drugs from, take her out the picture, or she's going to wind up having to take them out the picture, and she's not known for killing people as of yet. So tell me what you think is going to happen. But this great white,
the fact that they got these little teenage girls, so a little bit of Larry jumped. Larry, I'm like, I can hear him now talking about how you going to have these young teenage black girls wise enough and experienced enough to run a drug, to be like queen pins, basically. They taking over the business.
Well, they're not queen pins, even though I called them that. They just basically watched the uncle do the business for all them years. That's what they did. All they know is drugs. And so now when they came and took the uncle, they had no parents to call.
You still haven't dealt with the dirty side. I mean, they've seen a little bit.
Yeah, they've seen it.
But you don't have the muscle that the uncle has.
Exactly.
And so for you to think, or for us to think that they're going to be able to run or do what they're doing without being touched by anybody, they just little girls.
Well, that's what the writers are showing you here, that they green, they wet behind the ears. They whatever drugs they cutting is so strong, it's killing people. The writers is telling you they need help. That's what they telling you right here, Larry. They telling you they need help.
I don't like the idea that you got these little teenage girls, putting them in the role of grown-ups.
It's just TV, honey. And how often have we seen in real life underage people have to step up and be put in the roles of grown-ups by force? And in this situation, they have been forced to be put in this situation.
Yeah, she don't seem like she being forced. She seemed like she want to do this.
True.
She thinks she was. Remember last season, she was smarter than everybody in the room.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah. And that's the other problem. They want to do this. It's kind of like, what do you do when you have a child they're a child, but they just got it caught up in their head. They want to do something that grown people do. What do you do as a parent? You're either going to help them or you're going to run away from them.
Oh, they having a Tasha moment.
They having either a Tasha moment or a Charles moment on BMF, because Charles is trying to run from his boys doing drugs. He don't want to have nothing to do with it. He don't want to hear about it. It's so bad with Charles, he decided to leave the house because the mama is in cahoots with the boys doing the drugs. That's the only thing you can do. You're either going to watch your child do it and stay there, or you're going to be like, I ain't got nothing to do with this, and go. There's no parent in this girl's situation.
I mean, but whoever the figure was, the father figure, whatever, the uncle, he approved of them having their hands in it.
Yeah, he approved of it.
But still, I just don't like to see the little young teenage black girls know what they're doing. So
you prefer to see the white girls doing it?
Well, you see us in that role too much.
Okay.
You see us in that
So
role
you
too.
saying that they glorify black people doing these roles too
Little
much.
young girls, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay.
Because when you look at her, you would think that's a role of a grown woman that be interacting with Jorge and all this other stuff. That's not something that a teenager should be doing.
Well, she's got the lead. Let's see how she lead. And then last but definitely not least, the writers gave us a metaphor. You got Jackie talking to Leslie, and they basically talking about how they want to put a bullet in Frankie and Jorge. And then you got them going in one direction down the road, and then you got Jorge coming back in another direction. Then the two cross-section each other.
Don't even see it.
Don't even see it.
Yeah.
This is nothing but a metaphor the writers put in there to say these paths is definitely going to cross.
Exactly.
How did you see it, honey?
That's how I saw it.
Mhm. These paths is definitely going to
I
cross.
was sure it would have been nice if they looked over and saw him, because you know what they would have thought.
Well, they can't get him on nothing unless he has something on him in that moment.
The idea that he's coming from that direction or coming from wherever they're going
Right.
tells you that they're on the right track.
Yeah. For now, we think they're on the right track. The problem is Leslie. I don't trust her.
Oh no, not
I don't trust her.
And what's her name? Raiden warned her. Don't trust Leslie.
Yeah, Ray did warn her.
Uh-huh.
But unfortunately, Jackie, she need that person to help her feel more confident about her job and more confident about being in a new position. And I hope Jackie can figure it out before it's too late.
Exactly.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for our first review of episode 1, season 2, Hightown. We'll be trying to do these every Sunday till it goes off.
It's on Star. Somebody's asking.
Yep, she, my man,
Jocelyn.
yeah, Cannibal Foreman hooked her up, but Jocelyn, it is on Stars.
Okay.
Me and Larry reviewed it last year. It's a really, really good show, well written, dynamic cast, talking about what the drug life would be if you live in Cape Cod in that area. And it's different. It's got a different feel. We like it, and we'll be reviewing it every week till it goes off. That's going to do it for this video. Don't forget to like the video. Please comment, subscribe, get yourself that life gain. I will be dropping my BMF episode 4 video probably in the next hour or so. So be on the lookout for that. Should be fire. I got a couple of jokes in there that you guys might like. Till that next Sexy as Hell video, I'll see you.